This is a Sperry Topsider Sandal. Someone decided to go to Walgreens or another store and get some Shoe Goo. Shoe Goo works great for about a week and a half. As you can see, this other glue that is coming apart here. You have to clamp it, wait 24 hours, and then before you can even wear it. How ridiculous. And it doesn't work, obviously, because they brought it back into my store. I ended up charging them $28 to glue this back, because I have to take off some of the stuff that they tried to fix it with in the first place. So that's kind of what we're going to do here, is take out some of this stuff. You don't even have to take all of it off, and it'll still hold. I just want to take it off of the edges, because we want a nice flat surface to glue to. So as you can see, you can maybe take a pair of pliers and try to get that off if you already bought some at the store and it didn't work, and you blew about $7 or $8 on something that doesn't work. The great thing about our product is that not only does it work, but you could use it on about 8 or 10 shoes with one bottle. It goes a long way. I'm using the large bottle because we obviously use a lot of it, but a small bottle can generally get 8 to 10 shoes out of one bottle. It goes a really long way. There again, I try to start either in the toe or the heel. I think because of the way this sandal is, that I'm going to actually start in the back, because I don't want to deal with the straps coming apart, which they already glued. Never mind. I think I'm just going to take this whole mess off. And we'll start at the toe. Notice I still left some of the Shoe Goo on here. It'll work right on top of what's there. On this one, I'm going to just work on the toe only to set it in place. It's just easier to work with. When you have it in position. So get the toe lined up, but you want to go all the way to the back and make sure that the back is set in place before we hold the toe down. See, now that it's in place, I only glued from here up. So we just want to hold that in place. And once we get the toe in place, everything else will fall right into where it was before, in its original position. So that's why I always start either with the toe or the heel. In this case, I generally like to do the toe first. And that way, it's just my own personal preference. In case the material stretches out, it's easier to leave the heel a little long than the toe, because you're more apt to catch the toe again than you are the heel, if for some reason the material stretches out. I actually like to keep a little bit of the original part of the sole on, if at all possible, so the whole thing doesn't come off all in two pieces. Even if you have a section that is still stuck on there, I would leave it on, because it's just easier to work with. So now that we have the toe done, now I usually work from the arch up. So I'll do the whole front section and a little bit of the arch, and then do the heel last. Always use this inside out. So you start on the inside, don't put any on the very, very edge yet until last. Now put a bead, and you don't need a lot, but put a bead right on the very edge of the strap. Careful for drips. So if it drips, it's no problem. Just wipe off the excess. And there again, start on one side. Hold it in place. Check the other side for drips just in case. And just hold it in place. 15 to 40 seconds usually. Notice how it goes right back into its original spot because we set the toe first, remember? So by setting the toe, that makes everything a lot easier because it'll just fall right back into its place. It just wants to go home to its original position. If for some reason that this didn't get completely glued, you can go back and re-glue it. It's just a tiny little bit there. Missed the very, very edge. Just go back and redo it. It'll be fine. And just be patient. You know, you don't even have to do that big of a section. If you want to go a little bit by a little bit, you can. I just find it, you know, I do this a lot, so I want to just make sure that you know, I want to get it done. So go back over and check your work on the other side just to make sure, and hold it down a little bit farther. You know, within a minute or so, you know, it's secure. Okay, now we're going to do the last part. You can see how there's still lots of shoe goo from the last fix. The very failed attempt of Shoe Goo. See how it goes back into the same spot? And just hold it in place. Want to keep your fingers out of there, so you don't want to use too much glue, and you don't want to bring your fingers past where the sole is, so you don't glue your fingers together. So just hold it down, but not where the glue is. You'd look pretty silly walking around with your fingers glued to the shoe. So you know, if you feel it starting to glue your fingers, just release it and go back, wipe it off, get a little different spot to hold it on. And see how I missed a little bit of spot here? I think that's where the Shoe Goo was before. That's why I kind of like to take, when a customer tried to fix it themselves with the wrong adhesive, I try to take a lot of that stuff off. but especially around the edge, because that way we won't have to hold this and redo it. It'll have a nice clean spot on the end. And here we go. There's the shoe, flexible and ready to go.